And welcome back to MD Global Muscle here at the On The Rise Media Studio with me, your host, Giles Thomas. I'm joined all the way from, not London, actually Kuwait, Nasser and Abdul. How are you? Yeah, because yesterday you were in London. Today you're back in Kuwait. Obviously, you were in London. You won the 212, so congratulations. How do you feel?
Thank you. It's very good. You know, I just arrived before maybe less than 12 hours to Kuwait, and it was exciting that you will interview me. I know my English it's not very good, so my coach with me will help me. Also, he's coaching me in English, and he will speak about the technicality stuff. If you want to ask about the stage, about the what we bring for the competition. I'm so happy that I can. That's my second time I came to UK. I won the second pro show. Last year I won the Arnold Classic.
That's right. UK. Yeah.
I go to Olympia, and this year also I love London for this.
Yeah. So what was it like as an experience? Because I know you went up against Lucas Coelho, very good competitor. You had Dean White, Barnsley Pitbull. Yeah. What's his name again? Rob Taylor. You that guy in third, I've never seen him before. You basically beat some very, very good guys.
Yeah, it all was Olympian. You know, Robert Taylor was an Olympian. Dean White, 10th in Olympia last year. Yep. Lucas, 2-time Olympian. There is that who takes third place. He's a new debut 2-on-2 player. He's very good. He went against me and Lucas in Portugal. He took the second place.
Yeah.
So we get the redemption this time. It was very good. I like the organization, the 2-pro event, the Shiro Classic. There was hospitality and was very good with us. And also my coach helped me. I was just follow him by words. He bring the package. He tell me, I want you look like fullness. I know the referee what they want. So also the thank for him for getting to Olympia.
So I want to ask the question to your coach. Were you happy with the package that you brought?
Actually, yes. We had some pointers from Portugal 3 weeks ago. We took our feedback from the judges. Mm-hmm. Implemented a couple of strategies here and there. Made some tweaks to the diet. Posing classes. Because actually one of the pointers we got back from the coaches from the judges, sorry, was that he wasn't controlling his midsection properly.
Okay.
His quads were shaky on stage. He needed to work posing a little bit more. So that was one of the things we implemented. We worked on. We did 30 minutes of posing per day. I actually had him pose until he was almost flat.
Okay.
Yeah, I had him pose, and then we just made tweaks to his nutrition back and forth. We changed his peaking a little bit. Instead of carb loading on 3 days, we carb loaded on 2 days this time, because of the weight making. Yeah, we had to make weight. Yeah, it was the night of the show, and then the show was the very next morning. So, yeah, we made some tweaks here and there.
So, you say about the weight. What did you weigh in at? Because do you struggle to make weight?
No, actually, he weighed in at 90.
95.
That's about 211 pounds.
Not much. Yeah.
Actually, went up from 93.5 from last year to 95.5.
Oh, wow.
Which is, very good.
Yeah.
Over 7 months. Since the Olympia 2022.
So what was was it 2021 when you took 7th at the Olympia?
Yeah.
2021, yeah. And then what did you place in 22?
22 I was 12th place.
Yeah.
I better package. I feel I was better that time, but the lineup was more stronger for me.
Yeah.
Maybe there is some players shown better than me on that day only. So it's about, sometimes you don't get luck about it, but this year I will fight for sure to get top 10 again, and I hope I can get chance with this very huge names, very good lineup in Olympia. I think this year will be only 19 or 20 player because they put less competitions for this year, and the line will be very hard. So we have now 12 weeks out exactly.
Yeah.
We start from today.
That's right.
A new prep for Olympia, rebound, no joke. He just give me one cheat meal.
No, one cheat meal. So no week off, no 1 week off or 2 weeks off, just straight into the 12-week prep.
Yeah, just full new prepare. We have 12 weeks out.
Yeah.
We plan for this. If we get it early, we have too much time for make a full new prepare, full rebound. Any weak points, we can improve it also a little bit. If I get more, maybe quarter kilo or half an a pound like this, I'm sure that I can bring more new package in Olympia.
Yeah.
I fight for Olympia. I win this competition to be in good shape on Olympia, not about this competition.
And you're qualified now, so you don't have to do any more competition or any more traveling.
I will not sure. Just now, concentration Olympia. He put the plan for me just now. He tell me what we'll do about nutrition, about everything. He tell me the plan. I tell him, when you are ready, I'm ready. I'm always ready. We'll fight for Olympia. It's like a Super Bowl for us. So
prep started today.
And I was so happy when you spoke with me about the interview, because it's not about national now. We are international players.
Yeah.
We are not local, just inside our area like this. Our region, yes. So.
Are you Kuwaiti?
Yeah.
You're from Kuwait?
Yes.
Okay. So how long have you two been working together?
3 years.
3 years.
Okay. So what's the game plan for the Olympia then? You say you want to maybe get in right close to... You want to put another half kilo, quarter kilo?
Actually, we usually strategize and plan early.
Okay.
So the plan for this year, we wanted to qualify as early as possible, and just to get in a couple of weeks of resting, blood work, so on and so forth, and then we'll just blast right away into the Olympia. We have 12 weeks to work. We're gonna rebound for 2 to 3 weeks, bring his weight up a little bit.
Yeah.
Just to make sure he's full enough. He can push his volume higher. He can have enough resting. He can, just to have a little bit of balance, since we still have 3 months starting today. But then we're gonna work on weak parts, especially his glutes and hamstring. Okay. We've been working on his hamstring for the past 3 years. We've managed to bring him up, but not enough. I think we need to put a little bit more size on his glutes, his hamstring as well, to bring a better package. So the game plan right now is to work on those weak parts specifically, not to put weight just to put on weight. We wanna bring up his weak points. Yeah. He's gonna be going against the best in the world again for the 3rd time. This time we wanna push hard. We wanna be up there with the big guys.
Less mistake as we can. We go less mistakes, because who win? He's not the most beautiful genetics or most beautiful showing. Who's less mistakes in the stage, he won the competitions. It's about full package. You bring full package.
Yeah.
The less one have mistakes, he will win, I'm sure, for this. So we have weak points. I know we have weak points. I won't be more completed time by time, year by year. It's about continue. I have time. I know I'm not very old, 33 years old.
33. So, he's a baby. Yeah. He's a baby, Derrick.
Yeah. So I will fight for it. I know my time will come. So I'll fight. I trust too much my coach. He gets me the plan. I just stick in the plan. I do my best. I'm fighting. I go to gym not because I don't love the glutes and hamstring training, but he killed me in these days. I have only 2 full days just for glutes and hamstring.
Oh, wow. Okay. Wow.
Yeah, just concentration it, and so much tired. You go just when you finish your glutes, you don't feel the pump like this. But I tell I'm a pro. It's no joke for me.
Yeah.
I work. This is my work. This is my life. So I must do my best to bring the best. It will help me in everything.
Nasser, someone said on the muscular development on the forum, on the boards, one of the main members today said you have the best rear lat spread in the Pro League.
Yeah, well,
he said the best. Bettiona, he says Nasser Sayed has the best rear lat spread in the pro league right now today.
It's a lot for me.
Can I say that I usually tell him you look like a mini Rami?
Yeah,
on the lat.
he does. Yeah, he does. Yeah.
Yeah, and I actually, when it comes to training, I had to bring down the volume of his back workout in general, just to compensate in glutes and hamstring, because he's gonna fly at the end. He's gonna fly.
I think it's up there with Ahmed Ashkenani. You know, the back, the thickness, the amount of muscle he has. It's like that level. It looks like there's too much muscle there. It's like it's just it's insane. It's very, very impressive.
Actually, it was one of his weak points.
Really?
If you go back to Romania 2020, he had no back double bicep. It was one of the weakest points of his.
First year together. First year was my first competition with him. It was 2020 in Romania.
Yeah.
We take third place. Angel Calderon was one. Muscle Festival Romania with TJ Flex. So my back lat spread was maybe my worst was both in the stage. So we work hard for it, and it's too much, more than what we put in our mind.
So where do you
want to balance?
Where do you train?
In Platinum Gym.
Platinum. I've not heard of that.
Platinum.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I've heard of that one.
It's a big company in Kuwait. It's like a company that they make a pro contract with me. So they are like my my sponsor. Yes.
Wow. Okay.
My official sponsor. Yeah. They support me. I have also sponsors. Too much sponsor in Kuwait. We have good platform for bodybuilding. I have a supplement sponsor, Health House Nutrition. I have Love Diet Food. It's one of my friend Abdullah Bakhsh restaurant. Full free meal all the year.
Wow, free food, Derrick.
Free supplement for all the year. Platinum also take care of me for the flight like this.
Okay.
So I must do something back for them.
Yeah.
For this we're fighting. We go to international. We want to go to Olympia. We want put our
effort.
Yeah.
He has no excuse. He has no excuse. Yeah. He has to go to Olympia. He has to work hard. He has to achieve everything there is. All bodybuilders ask for what he has.
Yeah, yeah.
He everything. He just needs to work hard. That's it. And that's what.
Yeah. So do you feel fresh? Do you feel ready for the next 12 weeks? You don't feel like you need any time off, or you feel good?
He hasn't slept for 2 days.
Wow.
Because I'm happy.
He's happy. Brilliant.
Because I'm happy I don't sleep.
Yeah.
So, mentally, I am ready 200%. Mentally for Olympia. I tell my coach, I tell him, when I go to Olympia, if you bring a child, let him go to Disneyland. I am happy. I'm excited to be in Olympia. So it's about, for me. It's from here. It's okay. About blood test, about the training, شدة التمرين يعني
work
intensity like this. It depends on him. Sometimes he tell me you must get 2 or 3 days off training. You must rest your body. You must do massage. You must do cryo. You must.
We would deload
blood test.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
We would refeed according to how his body looks. I like to control all the variables as much as I can.
Yeah.
The controllables. Nutrition, hydration, rest. Sometimes I would give him rest for 3 days a week, if he needs to. So that's how we work. We monitor everything that we can monitor on a daily basis and make changes accordingly.
So what's your background, Abdul?
Actually, I've been doing this I've been coaching since 2014. I've been bodybuilding since 2006.
Okay.
I've learned from a lot of coaches, high-end coaches. Can I mention names?
Yes, please.
Okay. Actually, Neil Hill was my first coach ever.
Oh wow, fantastic! Good friend of mine.
Yeah. AJ Sims is a good friend of mine.
Okay.
I've learned a lot. Yeah. Actually, AJ, lots and lots from him. I actually worked with George Farah for 6 months. Cash Giddery, I've worked with a very, very good amount of coaches. That is high-end coaches.
That's quite a list.
2018. So I learned a lot from them.
Yeah.
And I'm very proud to say so. I'm very proud to say so.
That's fantastic, isn't it?
Yeah, that's very good. And to say that you've made so much improvement on your back, right, in that short space of time. I'm looking forward to see you when you. I mean, you're just talking to us now, and all your fans and things like that. And if you can make that sort of improvement, I believe that if you say you're going to do it, you're going to do it, right? You got a nice persona about you, and you got a good coach, and you got a good head on you. So I'm looking forward to see what you bring to the Olympia this year. Good luck to you, man.
So he have also another Olympian last year, Abdullah Sayed, Classic Physique.
Okay.
He have a lot now. We have a team. Our team name is Team Pose.
Team Pose.
Right. He's our boss.
Yeah.
So I'm not the boss. I'm not the boss. I'm the leader.
Yeah. After we get chance together when we start. After too much pro trust on him and come now, he have maybe too much pro league pro cards players. He have two Olympians. It's my third time Olympia with him.
Yeah.
We have also Abdullah Sayed Classic Physique. Last year he was Shiro Classic winner. He take first place and go to Olympia and took second in Kuwait. Yes, Kuwait Classic Pro. So I'm proud of my team. We have teamwork. We have very good team. We push each other. He's also not only my coach. He's my team partner, my train partner. Sorry. So he's very good in training.
Yeah.
We fight with each other the training.
That's true.
That's good. We have friendship on the side, and you have coach and player relation. It's straight.
Yeah.
When he tell me something, there is no joke. I am joking about outside the gym with him, going away, travel, do everything. But when it comes about work, everything is stop and concentration. We have click. We have a dream. We want take Mr. Olympia first place, and we will. I hope so. We'll do it because we fight. We do everything. It's that's neat.
Yeah.
So in a few years, I hope you will interview me again as Mr.
As the Olympic champion. Yeah. So who are you really hoping to get next to on stage at the Olympia? Who would you like to be called out with?
I'm going to take a telephone on stage.
I already stopped with them. Who was my dream? Ahmed Shkanani, Derrick Lonsford in 2021. I stopped next to him, next number for him. Keon, Angel Calderon, Ole
Cuvier.
So this player I have like a role model for me. Kamal, Mr. Olympia also. Sean Clarida, the champion.
Sean Clarida though, man, he's a handful.
Yeah.
He is that guy is no joke.
He's no joke.
No joke. He's very hard worker.
Yeah.
Very good mentality. And when I stopped with them, it was like a dream first time for me in Olympia. I cannot imagine what I will do tomorrow before Olympia one day. But when I stop with them, I see videos. I go for 1, 2, 3 competitions. I know I am with them in the mix.
He could compare himself to them.
Yeah. And I have a lot more. I have a lot more to bring. I know my body also now not the best mature. I am in the high level. I'm not in my best. Yeah. I do my best to improve every time. So
not to speak yet.
Are you obviously the Olympia's going back to Florida this year. You've done both Florida and Vegas. Which do you prefer?
Florida, Orlando.
Do you know what? Honestly, tell us why. Tell us why.
It's about everything for me. It's about the place. I think more space, bigger. Also, the venue for the competition was very good. The organization, I feel, it's by my opinion, I felt was more easier, more helpful there. I like the city at all. Orlando, I like the place.
Yeah. And you have Disneyland as well.
Yeah.
Disneyland, Mickey Mouse, it's all there, man. Vegas, you got casinos and strip clubs. What would you prefer? I don't know, Star Wars Land. So
we were not our thing.
No, yes, yeah. So Cool. Okay then, guys. Well, yeah. Okay. Well, I just want to congratulate you because obviously that was a fantastic win. Absolutely fantastic win. I followed it, and like I said, because Lucas was kind of the favorite coming in, and you beat him. You beat him convincingly, I think.
You know, Lucas is very close friend for me. I contact with him every time. I have good relation with him. Also with his wife. She's pro physique, woman physique, Larissa Colijo. Mm-hmm. I like them. They are very kind, very good. You know, still until today, I spoke with him. He have very good pro mentality. I like his mentality. He's a fighter.
Good. On
the stage, we are on the war. Out stage, he's more than a player, more than support. You know, when I win against him, his wife come and hug me, tell me congratulations.
Oh,
you deserve it.
Fantastic. I like it. I like it.
Yeah, it was very good support, and that's good in this sport. I love this. I like this thing. Also, Lucas, he's very kind person, and I tell him, you will make it to Olympia, and I will see him in Olympia again.
Yeah.
I will beat him.
Nasser, is there anyone you'd like to thank?
My sponsors. At first, my coach, also my friend, my close friend. He's my biggest support. Is Abdullah Bakhsh, my closest friend. He's a businessman. He supports me a lot outside the gym. Also, he have a restaurant. Also sponsors me. Love Diet Food, Platinum Gym. Mm-hmm. Platinum Gym. They are very good supporter with me. Also, Health House Nutrition. Mr. Muhammad Bukhamsin is the owner. My family, sure. My mother, my father, they are biggest support for me. Also, my wife, my kids. I love them.
How many children? How many?
I have 2.
Okay.
5 years, 2 years old.
Wow.
So I do everything. It's all about family for me.
Yeah.
I want make my legacy to give them a very good life.
Yeah.
You know, that's my target in the life for them to the end.
Fantastic.
Very good.
Fantastic. Nasser, Abdul, I'm going to let you guys go, but I'd like to thank you so much for coming MD Global Muscle. Really do appreciate it. And like I said, all the best for the Olympia. I'll see you out there. So hopefully, and can't wait to see that crazy lat spread.
Thank you very much. Thank you, brother.
So much
you did fantastic. You did. It was, like I said, that was a very good lineup. It was a good show to win.
Thank you. I appreciate this.
All right then, guys. Well, and have you come straight from the gym?
Yep.
So you flew back 12 hours ago, then you went straight to the gym.
You know, I was when I be happy when I win.
No sleep.
I don't. No, I go to diet more. I go to gym more. Work harder. Yeah.
So hang on, Derrick. He won yesterday.
Yeah.
Then he flew back, and he's had no sleep for 2 days.
Yeah.
And the first thing he does is he goes
back to the gym.
He goes back to the gym. That's dedication, man.
Actually, I worked out yesterday as well.
Oh wow. Okay.
UK and workhouse gym. I trained before my flight. Fantastic. I was in the gym. Yeah.
Oh, fantastic. Do you like the UK?
Yeah, I like it very much. The weather, everything there is good, and it's easy to be there.
Yeah.
Do everything, it's easy. The gyms there is good. The food there is good. The weather, environment in general, it's very good.
Good. I'm glad you had a good experience both times.
Thank you very much.
Cool.
Thank you, brother. All
right then, guys. Well, thank you so much for coming to MD Global Muscle, and all the best for the Olympia, and just go kick some ass this next 12 weeks, mate. I'll be rooting for you.
Thank you, brother.
All right then, guys. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye. Joined all the way from... I've completely forgotten it's Nate's beer.
That's me.
Nate, I've completely forgotten where you're from, mate. I know you're definitely from America. Am I correct?
Correct. So I actually am originally from Ron Harris's area, so a little bit north of Boston, but I actually just moved down to Florida about a month ago.
Oh wow!
So I'm near the Tampa area. Yeah.
So why is everyone moving to Florida?
I think it's just more conducive to bodybuilding, especially if you live in the north where there's like a lot of snow. And like when I did my pro debut, I'm like out there scraping off my car to get the cardio in, you know. Yeah. So I think, and also too, you know, a lot of guys. I think even I always think of Evan Centopani when I'm shoveling my walkway.
Yeah.
How he tore his quad on ice, and I'm like, this is gonna be me someday.
Yeah.
So I'm like, not today. I'm going down to Florida before this happens now.
So was it a nice easy move and everything? Was it like, because that's not that far to move, is it?
No, it wasn't too bad. There's a lot. So a lot of people are moving to Florida. So there's so many moving companies that will like move everything for you. So it was actually pretty crazy because I was actually in the middle of like prep for Vancouver, and I moved down here 2 weeks out from Vancouver. So, but I didn't have to do any moving. I assembled it. So I had a moving company move everything down. I had someone drive my car down,
Wow.
and just sort of like forked over cash. Just because 2 weeks out, you know, if I drove, I don't know how many miles it is, but 300, 400 miles, obviously as a bodybuilder, that would probably wreck my body being close to a show like that, you know? So it all worked in the end, and I made it down here. And it was a little like rocky though. The moving company was like definitely sort of shady, I would say. I didn't get my stuff for 3 weeks, dude.
What?
So I told them, I told them my move-in date. So I assumed that's when they would bring my stuff, and they had like little fine details of like, oh, well, we don't have to bring it until X amount of days and this and that. So I was sleeping on an air mattress literally for the last 2 weeks of my prep for Vancouver.
Wow.
And then after Vancouver stuff, yeah. So it was a pretty nice air mattress, but still not as good as a bed, obviously, right?
Yeah. Do you know what? I've moved probably, say 15 times I've moved, and the time when I moved down from the north Newcastle to down to Yorkshire where I am now, it was the first time, the only time I've ever used a moving company and not done it myself. And when I did it, I was like, why the hell didn't I do this every single time?
Yeah. Well, I think we move so much, and then you get to the point where you're like, okay, next time I'm using a moving company, right?
Yeah. And the thing is, like, they put the beds together for me. I said, like, put that there, put that. I was like, oh my god. And I think the only thing, do you know what? The only thing they couldn't pick up, which they, even two of the guys, was that I had copies of all my old MD magazines.
Oh yeah. You had so many.
Yeah, and they like we cannot pick that up. Yeah, they're like, you remember when MD was like 400 pages?
Yeah.
God, it's crazy. It's crazy. So, right, okay, then let's talk about. I mean, I feel like 2023 has been a really good year for you, mate.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I really just wanted to sort of get my name out there and get seen, and obviously bring a great look too. So yeah, I ended up doing the 3 shows. I started with New York all the way in May, and I thought that was a really good look. Overall, I placed 7th, so I was 1 spot away from the first call out, which at New York, that's a pretty good deal for. Yeah. I mean, it's not technically my pro debut, but I would say it's my first real season as a pro, because the Boston Pro I did as my pro debut, but I was only a few months after getting my pro card, so I didn't really make any improvements per se. Whereas now, you know, I had a full year off to make improvements, and then that's where it was displayed at New York was the first show, and then 8 weeks after that I did Vancouver, and then 3 weeks after that I did Tampa. And the reason why I did that is just I had a lot of stuff going on, because I would have liked to do the New York, Toronto, or California, but I had some events scheduled and all that kind of jazz, so I ended up pushing it back, because I know for me I can compete a lot and I like competing. So I'm like sort of one of those old school guys where I want to do a couple or maybe 3 shows, and sort of I feel like I get better as it goes on. Not necessarily Tampa, but we can get into that. But I think it was just that the stretch from New York to Vancouver was really hard, because it was 8 weeks. So it would have been more ideal if it was like 2 or 3 weeks and then 2 or 3 weeks, you know, because I wouldn't really get as burnt out, I feel like. Because by the time I got to Tampa, I was a little bit burnt out. I just sort of wanted it to be over, which that's not a really great mindset to have. You know what I mean?
So, I mean, some of these lineups haven't been huge, and obviously they removed the point system. I personally do like to see bodybuilders doing several shows. I think unless you get a win, then shut it down by all means. You know, we've seen guys like Ross Flanagan get a win, and then he still competed the week after. You know, he still did Toronto. But I do like to see bodybuilders doing multiple shows. How do you feel about that?
Oh, I definitely agree, because I think like when you get to this level, I mean, it's sort of what we do, right? And I think the judges like to see it. And you can obviously, I think, make pretty good improvements. Like for myself and a lot of guys, I think that first show, it's not necessarily your best because you're digging yourself in such a hole to get in the proper conditioning. So a lot of guys usually look better at, like, let's say they do a second show at like 2 or 3 weeks apart from that first show. Usually they look a lot better if everything's done right. I mean, obviously there's guys that come in that first one and they're bang on, but most guys usually have they can get a little bit like maybe drier or come in a little bit fuller for the next show. Whereas, you know, they're depleting so hard and they're trying to get so lean for that first show. A lot of guys, you know, maybe they come in a little bit flat or whatever. And then it's really easy, I think, that the 2 weeks later, you know what I mean, to sort of make some corrections and you're already in pretty good shape.
Yeah.
To sort of just dial in that much more, right?
Thing is, this was a new physique you brought. I mean, you were a lot bigger than you were last year. So, you know, you're working with it. I always say, like, you know, the bigger you are, almost like the harder it is to get in condition. When I competed, I found it super easy to get in condition. I found it super easy to get lean and shredded and dry, but I never had to worry about getting full because I didn't really have a huge amount of muscle to fill out. You know, some of these guys, you have to fill out and dry out, and it seems like a much more of a science.
Yeah, no, I would totally agree because this is the first year I really think that it was sort of hard for us to like really nail our peak. I mean, we were coming in like pretty decent conditioning, but I definitely noticed in previous years, it was very simple, very easy to peak, you know, not much of a load and this and that. And then this year, it's sort of, we were trying to sort of figure out, it was, like you said, it was a new physique and much more muscle. So like I put on almost like 10 pounds of muscle from Boston.
So, do you know what? I'm glad you said that because I've said before to guys, wow, you look 15 pounds heavier. And they go, well, actually it was 6. But it was, well, you know, do you know what I mean? So it did actually look, I would have said 10 to 14 pounds of muscle you look like you put on. Because you're quite tall, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm 5'10", maybe a little bit over.
Yeah.
And a lot of these guys, you know what I mean? They might look taller like online, but then you stand next to them and you're like, wow, you're only like 5'8". You know?
Yeah. So
no, but I would say the peaking process was just harder for us to figure out, and it was harder for me to get in shape. I would say that compared to previous years where it was a little bit easier. Like I was in past years, I was always pretty confident at 2 weeks out, like my glutes were already striated and stuff like that. Whereas this time it was sort of like all the way till the end, you know, pushing hard, and I was doing double cardios for New York. I think I was at 40 minutes twice a day. So that's,
wow,
you know, 80 minutes a day. So for me, that was a lot. You know what I mean?
Did you bump
from previous years? Yeah.
This year, obviously coming in bigger and heavier, did you bump up your food?
Food got lower than honestly in the past, I would say. So my carbs probably got to like 120.
Okay.
Towards the end.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
Just do carbs pre and post workout. It wasn't for a long stretch, but like, so sometimes it's hard because, you know, when you explain that, you know, sometimes people will think they may not have an idea of the time frame. But so for me, I would say like 3 to 4 weeks out is when it was that, you know, 120 carbs. The cardio was doubles, and then we would do like maybe every 4th day. It was never calculated, but it was due to check-ins and how everything was going, right? But we would do like a high day or something, but it was nothing crazy. It was like my high day would be like 400 grams of carbs. You know what I mean? So it wasn't like some of these guys are like, yeah, my high day is 1,000 grams of carbs. Like, nah,
Nate,
it wasn't really like that.
Nate, I've been speaking to bodybuilders, Andrea Presti, and like that guy is an absolute carb machine. Like he says, my lowest carb day is like 400. I'm like,
that's crazy.
I mean, like that. He said, and I'm struggling on that. I'm struggling.
Damn.
Yeah.
And then I was listening to Lewis Breed, who I met down here, and you interviewed. Great guy, really nice guy from your side. But they were saying like they were eating like a ton of food for Tampa too, like 3 days out, like even like they were carb loading hard, like 1,000 grams of carbs. Yeah. And he looked bang on. So, I mean,
I always wonder when you're like, I'm sure Lewis told me it was up to 1,500 gram of carbs the last couple of days. How do you not get this? How do you not get the stomach distension when you're eating quite that many carbs? I mean, I don't understand.
What would be my issue is I would probably get distended.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I'd be able to handle that, whereas some guys can. I mean, and that's the good thing about having a good coach, is because sometimes you second guess yourself. You know what I mean? You're like, well, all these other guys are eating 1,000 grams of carbs. Maybe I should. You know what I mean? And it sounds obviously appealing because you're starving at that point, right? So it's easy to like talk yourself into being like, well, maybe I need more carbs, right?
Yeah. I can imagine, though, a guy your size on 120 gram of carbs pre and post training. I can imagine what that second cardio session's like.
Oh, yes. Yeah, it was definitely, this prep was really hard as far as like mentally, because honestly too, we were trying to make a nice splash, you know, like it was, like I said, it was like my first like real season with the new muscle.
Yeah.
And we wanted to sort of make our mark a little bit. And, but I would say this, like for me, I don't really, so I think the difference between those guys and me is like, I don't really get too flat. So I retain muscle pretty well. So even on those low days, I never was really looking at myself like, oh, I'm losing this body part or I'm losing that body part or whatever, you know. The only thing I will say is I run into is the inflammation in the legs from like the high cardio.
Right.
So like New York, I would say New York, my legs were a little bit washed out, and it wasn't really necessarily because of not being in condition, but I would say the inflammation I never really could get away until after New York. And then Vancouver, everything came together because I was able to pull back on the cardio, because like I said in the beginning about doing a second show, is like we were pretty much in pretty solid shape. So from that point forward after New York, we were able to like pull back on the cardio, increase food a little bit. So it was a little bit better, and my body started to like get freshened up again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think for New York, I was not necessarily tired, but like I said, because my body looked really fresh, but like the legs were just not quite as separated, I would say, as they normally would be.
Would you say Vancouver was your favorite look of the season?
Yeah, definitely. I would say I was pretty much, you know, pretty nailed. I mean, there were some small corrections that could be made, but it was more or less just due to environment. Like Vancouver, that show was so hot, and it was at like sort of like a high school, so it wasn't really like the best environment for a bodybuilding show, I would say. Like all of us were sweating like profusely, and I don't really usually sweat on stage, so that was something I had to deal with. And then also like at that show, I was the last one in the confirmation round to go, so literally right after that I had to go and or I was the last one to do my routine for prejudging.
Yeah.
So then right after that, I had to go right and pose with a call out, but it was like 6 guys, so there wasn't a call out. So it was literally like right back on stage to pose. So that was pretty tough. That I would say sometimes you take away notes from shows. That's a note I would take away. Same thing with anyone else like that might have a last name that starts with like a higher letter, you know, towards alphabet. Sometimes that's sort of how they. So like my last name is Spear. So that means that's why I went last, because I got the last number.
Right, I see. Okay, okay, I'm with you now. Okay, I'm with you.
The best in the beginning, but so like for Tampa, Joel Thomas went last, and I saw he had to go through the same thing. You know, you go out there, you do your individual for 60 seconds or however long, because in the pros they sort of let you go however, and then right after that, then you go right back into the first call out. You know what I mean? So it can be tough because, you know, the guy that went, you know, in the middle, you know, he's just resting the whole time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's the same thing sometimes overall. Like sometimes you get the super and they bring the super right out after he just posed.
Yeah.
So you got to be prepared for that kind of stuff. So now I know that, you know, in my mind, like, okay, that might happen again, you know, on another show per se. So like the only thing I would say is from Vancouver, my look was like totally spot on, but it was tough because it was so hot at that venue. So like when I went back out there in my call out or whatever, I felt like my breathing could have been a slightly better because I was a little winded from that first initial individual routine for prejudging. If that makes sense. Sorry.
Yeah. I
didn't really explain it well.
So with Tampa, I know you didn't get the placing you wanted, but did you, I mean, what did you do differently for Tampa that, I mean, like I said, you weren't happy with the placing, but were you happy with what you brought?
Yeah, overall, I think my look was pretty good. Like my glutes were striated, my chest was striated, like everything was like pretty much there as far as conditioning. Like I couldn't really, like I can't look back and say, oh, well, I could have lost more body fat. But I think my look was like maybe a little bit weathered or tired at that point. So I didn't really have as much pop maybe. But there's still a lot of great shots that I look at and I'm like, wow, I look you know, I was really happy with the look. Like my avid thigh that I posted was like pretty amazing, I thought, and like my most muscular. And I mean, my glutes were striated, but they could have been a little drier. Like there was maybe a slight film. So that's what a lot of people don't understand. Like it gets really hard at this level that I'm starting to become aware of, because at a national level, they would have been like, oh, that dude's peeled, like no question. But now at the pros, they're like, okay, you might have a little bit of film on you. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
Different, more critical where I was.
Different level, different level.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. So like your glutes may be striated, you might have your hamstrings dug out, but if you have that little bit of film, like people are gonna be critical of that, you know what I mean? Whereas, you know, they want you like nice and dry and peaked perfectly, you know what I mean? So it's not necessarily like about being in shape at this point. It's more about like finding that perfect peak, because we all know too, like at this level, if someone peaks perfectly, that could make them a difference between 5th place and 1st place. I think Ross Flanagan proved that pretty accurately this year.
Yeah.
You know, because I think came in bang on, and the judges were like, "Okay, we're gonna give it to you."
Yeah,
you know?
when I saw the picture the next day, I thought he was the amateur winner, because I saw a picture of this guy with the backdrop, and I thought, "Who's this?" I thought, well, I don't know this guy. I don't know, you know. And we had Tony O'Burton, and I was like, beef stew, and I was like, who the hell's this? I was like, I don't even know who this guy is. I was like, I felt like a right amateur, you know, not knowing who this guy was. So
yeah.
So yeah, okay. So was Dallas never an option?
No. Honestly, Tampa wasn't really an option either. But
okay.
But I moved to Tampa, and it was like literally I just stayed at my house and I could just drive there. So it was sort of like a no-brainer when I got back from Vancouver. And I was riding a little bit of higher off of Vancouver. Like, oh, I felt I looked really good. Honestly, I thought me and Stan could have been interchangeable, honestly. But it depends on what you're looking for at that point. But I know, I will say Stan was like probably 100%, and I was like maybe like 97%. So, because like I could have had a little bit more oil on me, or you know what I mean, like small stuff like that, where I think Stan was like, his color was perfect, his tan was perfect, his posing he has great presentation too, which really makes a big difference. Like I was saying earlier, I think I'm becoming aware that the 1% makes such a big difference in the IFBB, whereas like at the national level, it's not quite as like in your face, I guess, you know what I mean? So for me, a lot of lessons that I took away this season was, you know, presentation is key. Like your poise and your confidence on stage is key. Like that stuff is gonna like make you shine in the pro league. Whereas like maybe at a national level, they're like the discrepancy is not quite as close with competitors. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think it makes as much of a difference. I mean, it's obviously a good thing if you're like perfect, but I think now that it's sort of woken me up, I guess, with like 3 shows in the pro league that like, okay, next year, like my presentation, my waist control, you know, holding my poses perfectly, not like moving around, like all little stuff like that, I think makes a big difference, you know?
I think you're very good when you do your compulsories. You really do. You're very precise with it. You don't fidget around. You sit in the pose nicely. You hold the poses nicely. And when I see your videos, I think there's a guy that practices his mandatories a lot.
Oh, I definitely do. But I think for me, I've always been super critical of myself, and I'm not the guy that has like the most amazing genetics. It's been a slow climb, you know what I mean?
But
like I'm not one of those guys that.
But hang on. You've put 10 pounds on in a year, and you've kept all your aesthetics and all your shape and your balance. Like that takes some doing. I think you've got to give yourself some credit for that, mate.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. I am excited. I do see the potential I have, you know, because I think I have good shape, which is obviously huge especially right now, right?
Absolutely.
And I can get proper conditioning. It's really just like having it all come together, right?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say I would like to see my back come up a little bit better, or at least like improve. But I think I like my front shots. I think they're pretty good. Obviously some more density in some areas like my chest or whatever. But yeah, I mean, I think we're getting pretty close now as far as like, I mean, I do believe I could win a pro show in the future now, whereas like last year you wouldn't believe that, you know, so.
No, absolutely. And I think Yeah, I think you've definitely arrived in the pros. I think you can chalk this one off as a successful year. Because at the end of the day, the name of the game is you go away, you come back, you improve, and that's it, and you do your job. That's all you can do, and that's what you've done. You've had some pretty good placings there. I think they're respectable placings in good quality shows against good quality competitors and good lineups. So I think next year you could absolutely, definitely challenge for a win.
I mean, the good thing, it was like, I'm glad I did New York too, because that was actually like a bigger show, because they started dropping off after, like, I think Toronto and Cali maybe, as far as like the size of the lineups, right?
Yeah.
So I think New York, there were still like 16 or 17 guys, and it was, I mean, I beat some pretty good guys. I mean, Robin Strand was pretty peeled, and Brent Swanson was peeled, and so the guys that I placed ahead of at New York, you know what I mean, were no slouches. They've been pros longer than me, and they were like really shredded. So I think that is a good indicator I'm on the right track. And honestly too, New York, I really liked my look, but I was like that film that I was talking about, we might have carved up a little bit too much, and I had a slight film, but it was really just my glutes and my hams that, like, they were stried, but you could see that little bit of film. But everything else looked pretty spot on, I would say.
Good. And I can't believe you moved in between your preps, like right in the bang in the middle of your prep. You moved house. I mean, that's they say that moving house is one of the most stressful things you can do.
It wasn't ideal, and I really didn't. It was just sort of like how everything worked out. You know what I mean? It wasn't like, but like honestly, if I could go and do it perfectly, I would not obviously move. In the middle of. It was one of those things. It was like I didn't really have any other options. My lease was up, and you know what I mean, that type of thing. Yeah. So it was like now or never, you know.
So where are you training now in Florida?
So I actually train at MI40 like 2 or 3 times a week.
I knew you were going to say that.
And then
sorry, Derek. That's where everyone. Sorry, Nate. This is Derek. This is where everyone trains in Florida.
Is it?
Everyone goes to MI40, and there's a place they go where they pose at the same spot. Everyone, Derek Lunsford, Kamal, everyone. It's like it's the in place. What's so great about this gym?
I just think it's just the environment, because like it's pretty cool to like walk in there. Like I see Derek pretty often. Do you remember Gerald Williams?
Yes, I know Derek. Yeah, Gerald. Yeah, very well. Yeah.
So I saw him there. Like
how is
I see Eric Wood.
Sorry, how is Gerald? I've spoke to him for a couple of years.
He's actually sounds like he's doing amazing. I mean, he's not competing anymore, but he still trains. And it was actually funny because he came up to me and I didn't recognize him because he's not in shape and he's not huge, but he still looks decent. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I was like, he's like, "Oh, my name's Gerald," and I go, "Wait, Gerald Williams?"
Yeah. Nice. Oh wow.
I was like, and then we started talking about, you know, just getting peeled for shows, because I remember when he won Cali.
That's right.
He said he was 240. I was like, shit.
He was fantastic. He beat Sasson Harati. He beat. I mean, this guy was really good. I've got his book. I got one of his books. He did like an entrepreneur book.
Okay.
Yeah, he was good friends with Phil Heath.
Yeah, he's a good dude. He seems to be really successful in whatever other business he's doing, because he sounds really happy. He travels a lot, and he's always going to gyms whenever he travels. He said so.
He's like bodybuilding. He's like bodybuilding's Elon Musk. He's super smart, super geeky. I love talking to him. Actually, I've had some fantastic. I interviewed him in Barcelona at the 2017 Arnold Europe outside, and we just sat there outside. I set the camera up and I had the mic and everything, and we must have talked for like half an hour, and we just talked about everything and anything. It was such an interesting interview. It was so different. It was great. It was really yeah. I'd love. I might drop a message actually, because you've really reminded me there actually, because I really clicked with Gerald. Cool guy. Sorry. So and you said Eric Wood as well.
Yeah. Eric's down here. And then Michaela Aycock sometimes comes down.
Cool.
And then Terrence and his girlfriend Tiffany there, or wife, I think. I don't know, but I think they're getting married. But yeah, so it's pretty cool to like walk into, like, if you walk into a gym and like all those people are in there, like you're gonna train hard.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's like I actually don't live in Tampa. I live near Clearwater, so it's like 30-40 minutes away. So there's actually not like
beautiful.
There's like some just commercial gyms over here, nothing you would have heard of. You know what I mean? But there's so many good gyms down here. So like their commercial gyms have like Arsenal and Prime and like all that kind of stuff, so it's a lot better than where I was at. Like I was sort of in like country small, you know what I mean, like suburban, whatever. So it's nice to be down here where there's like a lot more options, you know what I mean? There's a lot more bodywork people down here that are like specialized in what we're trying to do, and it just becomes easier to find everything. Like down here there's like 20 of everything, and up there there's like one or two.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So my old area, so it definitely helps as far as that goes. And my dad actually lives down here too, so he's actually not really doing the best.
Okay.
So he's like 80 now, so it's good. I already saw him once and stayed down there for like 3 or 4 days, so that was good. He's hanging in there, so it was just good to see him.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, that
yeah.
type of thing. So
yeah, well, they say that, like, I think bodybuilders are like goldfish; they become a product of their environment.
yeah,
So you put a goldfish in a bigger tank, it grows. That's what happens.
Yeah. And honestly, too, probably one of the best things about the bodybuilding and moving down here is my coach lives down here too.
Okay.
So my coach is like 10 minutes down the road, so we'll be able to like train together and that kind of stuff. Whereas before I didn't live near him, so it's pretty cool that way. And like down here, you go to like even like the Planet Fitnesses, like there's people that you see and you're like, oh, that guy might compete or whatever. Whereas like I feel like every gym has like competitors down here. You know what I mean? Whereas up there, because I think it's just colder, you know what I mean? Like I think a lot of people flock down here too. So a lot of people, I've already run into people that lived in New Hampshire that moved down here. You know what I mean?
Wow. Okay. So
pretty common.
Do you obviously it's quite a difference in temperature, in climate. You know, do you prefer that? Silly question.
Actually like it. I actually like the humidity because it's actually I have like my skin gets like sort of irritated from dry weather. So I've noticed my skin's actually much better. Yeah. It's a little uncomfortable sometimes, but I honestly, it's what I expected. So like I think sometimes people are like, well, don't you know it's hot down there? I'm like, well, I'm a bodybuilder. I sit inside all day.
Yeah, exactly. Nate,
so I mean, every place down like central air and stuff, you know.
Sorry guys, just had to adjust the lighting there. So do you know what? I actually think if I wanted to move to America, I think actually Clearwater is the place definitely the place I'd like to move to.
It's very beautiful. It's like, well, honestly, so tropical, and just driving to and from places, like you're driving over the bridge, over the water. It's like, have you drove over the Tampa Bridge, or have you seen it before?
I've been to Tampa.
It's pretty beautiful.
I've been to Tampa. I liked it. Yeah, I liked it.
It's all on the water, and like the bridges to get to and from are like they go over the water, and they're pretty long. So it's very beautiful down here. And I definitely pack like extra t-shirts in my car for like cardio and stuff.
Yeah.
You got to be prepared.
Yeah. So it sounds like the move was a good decision for you then.
Yeah, I'm very happy. I don't think I'll change my mind, especially now that it's getting into the fall. You know what I mean? Like I'll be like, haha, I'm down here in the warm weather. You guys are up there in the snow.
No snow, yay! Because like you said, Evan Santapani shoveling snow, Branch Warren as well when he slipped on the ice. You know, that's I mean that's a pain in the ass if that happens.
Yeah, definitely, and it's just like easier to like because like sometimes you go to places that are up north and it's actually hotter to train in because they're not used to the hot weather, so they might not even have AC in the gym. Like the gym that I used to train in, they didn't really have AC. It was like more like just like keeping it like cool. Whereas down here, every place has central air. You know what I mean? So it's like any gym down here is not going to have, or every gym down here is going to have like AC. You know what I mean? So it's pretty uncommon. A place wouldn't have AC down here because you would literally die. So.
Yeah. And then I went to. Sorry.
Is that what you're going to say, Metroflex?
Yes. How'd you know that?
I always think of that.
No, because I went to Metroflex. I went to Metroflex in August 2012, and I mean, you know, I don't think they even know what AC is. Like they've got these big fans, and they just open the doors, and it's like that's how you train. I mean, there's no. I mean, I couldn't believe it. I was training with a jacket on, and Branch and Johnny were training at the time. And Branch came over and he says, "Giles, what the hell are you training in that jacket for?" I was like, "Well, it's my favorite training jacket. I like to train in it, you know." So, and he's like, he looked at me like I was absolutely crazy.
Right.
Yeah.
He's like, people usually look at me like I'm crazy. I'm looking at you like you're
So I want to get your thoughts on this year's Olympia, mate. We're 12 weeks away. I've got some quite clear ideas of what I think will happen this year. So what do you think is going to happen in the Open this year? Come on, what's your feelings? Who are you rooting for?
I mean, I think Derrick's going to come in and take it this year. Just especially looking at his legs, you know, like those quads are just monstrous. It's just
12 weeks out.
The dude is just, it's just nonstop. It's like, does this kid just not stop growing? And his waist just stays small. And
Nate, did you see that update? And everyone shared it. Just him showing his legs at 12, 13 weeks out. They're striated.
You're joking.
They're striated.
Right.
They look like, honestly, it's like Tom Platz.
Wow.
And they're shredded now.
Insane.
He's got 12 weeks to go. I mean, that guy, I 10 out of 10 for enthusiasm.
Yeah, so I like Derrick. I mean, obviously I see Hottie's training very hard, and it's like you can't sleep on him, but damn, Derrick's genetics are just so ridiculous. Like, it's just like the kid grows, and like in the right way, you know what I mean? In the best way possible. Like,
I think
so
a lot of it's to do with his mindset, though, isn't there? There's something about him that, like, you can tell that he loves it. You can tell that he's really in his element and he's kind of thriving. And he's got his wife now with him, in, you know, because I know they were apart because she was studying for a couple of years, and he was still managing to progress even though they weren't together. But now you can see that he's got the right. He's got everything just in the right. Everything's there. He's got everything, you know, all his ducks in a row. And it's like he's seen his opportunity to really, really go for it, you know. And I mean, were you at the Olympia last year?
No, I wasn't. No, I'll be out there this year though.
Good. Well, when he first came out by himself, because obviously we got the special invite, so we didn't know what he was going to look like as an Open. When he came out and he did that front relaxed, I mean, I just remember looking around the audience, everyone just going. I mean, and then he hit that frontal bicep, and it was like, what the hell is that? And then he turned to the back, and it was like, holy shit. I mean, he could have won it, man. He could have won it in his first go in the Open, you know?
I don't think anyone would have been mad, you know?
No,
like,
no.
I'm very interested to see a rematch with Nick and Hunter, though, this year, because I think Hunter's much better, and he's he's getting better as far as, like, I think his mental, like you were saying about, like, Derrick, I think, like, this level is just, you got to have everything dialed in, and including that, like, mentality, and, like, everything is just laser focused, right? Like Jay used to be, you know, it's like, that's a prime example.
Yeah.
But these guys, you know, you got to just be dialed in like that. And Nick, that's one of his specialties, is he's always been just, you can't knock his, whatever you want to say. Like, he's always just on track, you know what I mean? Even if he doesn't place the way he wants to, or, because I think even after Arnold, like, I thought he'd be more disappointed, but he seems like he's just still right on track, like still just as hungry, and still can believe he still can win the Olympia, which is, and that goes a long ways, you know what I mean? The belief. And I think Nick has that true, like, real belief, you know what I mean? Like, I think sometimes people fake it, I mean, but Nick, you can sense, like, he really believes he'll be Mr. Olympia one day, like Sean did, and he did, 212 at least. But those guys, not lying when they say, like, I believe, like, I'm going to be the best in the world. You know what I mean?
I'm going to say something weird now, but I actually find Nick's confidence actually off-putting. Honestly, no, I find it, I can't actually talk to him. I interviewed him once, and it wasn't a good experience, because he was so, like, he was so in his own head of, like, I'm going to win Chicago. I'm going to win this. I'm going to win. I was trying to get more out of him, but he's like this. He's so ferocious. Like, I just like Derrick, you know, he'll talk and he'll give explanations, but he was like an animal. Like, he was like, I'm gonna fucking win this thing. And it was like, yeah, I believe you, but, you know, can you just relax and just talk like we're doing now? Just have a conversation. He was just he was such in killer mode, you know?
Yeah.
So,
do you think Hunter can beat Nick?
No, I don't.
That's fair.
I'll be honest though, I'm not feeling this love for the UK for our boy Samson, mind. Come on.
Oh, yeah, true.
Come on, Nate. Play the game.
There's so many good guys now. It's hard. Sorry. I know. Samson's nuts. No, I mean, he's blown up too. I mean, he's growing. It's crazy. Like, I guess the biggest thing for Samson for me is, like, is the back going to match the front? I know he's growing and he's improving, but I don't know if he's going to have the insertions for that back double bicep to hang with, like, a Derrick. You know what I mean? Like, I think he can definitely get maybe second or third. Like, he might be able to beat Hottie. But yeah, I don't know. Derrick is just on that trajectory, like the Phil Heath trajectory almost. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
You know,
Chosen one.
But yeah, it'll be interesting. Yeah, and I mean, now that he's with Hani, you know what I mean? Everything is, you know.
It's clicking.
But Samson's probably has some of the best quads in the IFBB I've seen right now.
I put a comment on his I put a comment on his Instagram today, and I said, "Why every time I look at your legs from the side, they remind me of a horse." It's like a freaking stallion's. This reminds me of like a thoroughbred's back leg. You know, the hind leg. There's all the muscles and veins and all the twitch. Everything's twitching. You know, like these finely tuned racehorses. He just looks like he just. I mean, and you know what? Thing is, I stayed at his house last year, and he posed and stuff at the top of the stairs by the mirror, because the mirror is actually in the bedroom that I stayed in. And then I got up, and he says, "I'm going to pose now." And I was filming it. Sorry, Marlenko was filming it. I was looking at the phone, and then I actually looked at him, and I'm like, it's actually disappointing when you see him on film, because he is as big as you think he is. When you see him face to face, he's so. It's like like video doesn't do it justice, because like people say, no, he's not 300 pounds. He's not, because he's 330 at the moment. And everyone's like, no, he's not. I'm like, I'm telling you, the guy is. He is that weight. Trust me. He got on the scale in front of me, and he was like, I forget, it was like 300 and something pounds. It's incredible.
It was crazy. I was watching, I can't remember what show it was, but it was like 2 years ago. And it was like, that's Samson?
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy. Like, remember when he did the British with like Nathan and stuff like that? Like that year? Yeah. It's a totally different bodybuilder. You wouldn't even think that was possible.
Nate?
You know what I mean?
November 2021, he won the EVLS Prague. He was 270 there. So that was November 2021. At the Olympia, he was 297. Like, how do you even put that much muscle? I mean, come on. I mean, that's just ridiculous.
And like, I think the most impressive part about that, and like people don't realize, is that he's been competing for a long ass time.
Yeah.
And for him to make like those improvements, you know what I mean? I think a lot of people, that's why we sort of slept on him, because it's like, okay, like, because I remember when he was trying to turn pro with James, you know what I mean? And it was okay, like he'll probably be a decent pro. Like, I know a lot of UK guys, you guys saw the potential in him, but I guess my thing was just like, okay, this guy's been competing for quite a while. You know what I mean? Like, his rise was not like this, right?
Yeah.
It was a sort of and then all of a sudden it was like, boom.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? After, I think, I would say, what was it, 2020, after that year is when he really exploded. Because I remember when he did Boss at Arnold.
Milos was the difference.
Yeah,
Milos.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think he's one of these people that he'll do exactly what Milos tells him to do. I mean, Samson just loves, he's like Ronnie, he just loves it. He gets up every morning and he's excited to do what he does. He loves what he does. Yeah. So for Milos to say, right, go jump through fucking, flaming hoops for the next 6 hours, he'll do it if it means he can be better, And I think that's important. Sorry?
Another respect out of Samson is that after he won the Arnold, he was everywhere. Like, he was making appearances, like traveling, like back and forth from the States to, you know what I mean? Like, weekend after weekend. And I think those are the guys, you know what I mean, that I like to see at the top, because they're making the sport of bodybuilding better by, getting their face out there, doing the old school sort of pounding the pavement, being at the show, being at the expos, and being at the vitamin stores, whatever, you know what I mean? Like, that kind of stuff, I think, goes a long ways for our sport, especially bodybuilding as our division, right? Because a lot of us are sort of like, oh, is bodybuilding, what's going on here? As far as like, is Classic going to take over? And you know what I mean? So it's good to have those representatives as far as like the guys like Samson, getting out there, talking to the fans, shaking the hands, putting the content out there. Because I think we got to keep up with the guys in Classic and like men's physique, because they're just killing it as far as that stuff goes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I mean, I was
Samson's doing.
And when I speak to Samson fairly frequently, and I said to him the other week, I said, mate, how have you managed to do all this traveling and you've still managed to improve? I said, I was expecting you to start from a point of like, oh, okay, you're looking okay, and you're going to kind of grow into the show because you've been traveling so much. And he says, well, I'm just making sure I stay on it, And he's got his wife who's very, very, she's like his manager. Do you know what I mean? She's all in like he is. I mean, he wouldn't have even been a bodybuilder if it wasn't for her. It's like Brandon and Brandy, Like,
yeah, she's everywhere. She's awesome. And I remember at the shows too. She's like oiling him up. She's like, making sure he has more oil, and like just everywhere. You know what I mean? Like,
she knows the stuff, mate. Because she's the one who communicates mostly with Milos.
Yeah.
Because
I remember she prepped them before Milos and John got, right? Yeah, that's amazing.
Correct. Yeah, and it's funny because I stayed at his house, and we stayed up till like, I think maybe 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning, and I said, Samson, mate, you got to get to bed. I said, his energy's so like, and we were in his kitchen, and he made me some food, and he made me the same thing that he was eating, and it was sea bass. Yeah. It was one little piece of sea bass and a bit of salad, and I was thinking, I'm gonna be up in the night, fucking hungry, and this is what he was eating. And in the morning, I think he had, was it 2 or 3 eggs that Milos gave him? I was like, I would be dying on that amount of food.
And he's like cheery and jolly, right? With energy.
I know. It's like, he's laughing about it. Oh, that's my breakfast. I'm like, well, I hope you're going to give me more than that.
I wish I was like that. I'm like you. I'm like, if I'm underfed, I'm like,
Derrick, anything you want to ask Nate before we let him go, mate?
Just to shout out about your coach. Who's coaching you down, man?
So it's actually pretty cool. So my coach is Andrew Barry. He's not a huge name, but I think he's growing. He's on a podcast pretty regularly. And he's actually been my coach my whole bodybuilding. So
wow.
I got pretty lucky at finding him. He was sort of like a local guy, and we both just sort of grown together as far as his coaching and then me bodybuilding. So it's been pretty amazing. And honestly, like, we're best friends now. He lives right down the road. And he's taught me so much, and he's just a great person, and we have a great relationship now, so I don't really see myself going anywhere else. I've had coaches like message me and stuff like that, but I'm just like, I don't know, it just seems to be working, and now, I'm moving at my own pace, but we're getting there. And I think the good thing is too, like, he's very health oriented, and he's always taught me a lot as far as like labs, and last year we got my CT cardio scan done. So we're doing all the proper stuff as much as we can to sort of, obviously, you're never safe, but, to mitigate any kind of, stuff. He's always been great as far as teaching me that kind of stuff too,
Is your blood work good?
Yeah, my blood work's been really good. Blood pressure is usually really good. I don't take any blood pressure supplementation. Like, I know a lot of guys take telcarsan and, Carditone, that kind of stuff to sort of, but I don't really need anything, honestly, for my blood pressure. I mean, even in my off season last year when I was like 290, I think I was like in the mid 130s, which isn't horrible for 290, as far as like blood pressure. So, so I try to monitor my blood pressure like once a week, just take a reading and just sort of see where it's at. And the only thing really is just my HDL will get a little low, but never single digits or anything like that. So there's a couple ones that are just sort of like, okay, like that might be out of whack, but we'll get it back in check type thing. So now, obviously, after the show, we come off everything. I mean, I'm on a TRT of like 200 milligrams of test, obviously, but just sort of get everything back in check and get back to healthy. I haven't even been in the gym this past week just because I think at this level too, you get better as far as like knowing what you can do and what's going to benefit you. As far as being out of the gym is just going to benefit me at this point, right? My muscle's not going anywhere. I 3 shows, I think I'm taking like tips from like those guys that have been before me, like I know Phil and, like all those kind of guys would take, a month or 2 off,
After the Olympia, they used to take 2-3 months off. Ronnie did? Leveroni, Sean Ray?
I don't know, but it's hard to stay out of the gym, but it's definitely beneficial. Everything's just got to be fresh and ready to respond. I think a lot of guys sometimes make a mistake as far as coming right out of a show and they're just ready to blast. It's like your body is just like beat to shit after prep. It's like you need to heal, let everything recover. Even if sometimes mentally you're like, oh, I feel great though, but it's like, okay, yeah, your mind is telling you that because you're fired up after the show, but that doesn't mean your body and your physical is going to match, right?
That's right. Cool, Nate. Mate, this has been absolutely fantastic. I think this is even better than the first conversation we had.
Yeah, definitely.
So great. Yeah, I've really enjoyed this one, Derrick.
Yeah,
it's been good, isn't it?
Yeah, it's been very good. Very
cool,
good.
Isn't it?
Yeah,
cool. Yeah, he's got...
Who's winning Texas?
Andrew.
You go.
Andrew.
He's had too many bells and whistles, man. I don't know. It's just too much. When he starts hitting those poses and he has like the detail and just the lines and It's gonna be hard, man. It's just he has such wow factor, right? Like that. Just when he comes down that front relaxed, you're just gonna be.
Nate, I saw him at the Olympia, and I remember having a conversation with a guy who lives out in Dubai, and I said, even before Andrew competed in the pros, I went, I don't really get this Andrew Jack thing. I don't think he's that great. And he went, oh, Giles, trust me. When you see him, you'll feel differently. And I was like, yeah. I dismissed it. And then when I saw it at the Olympia, I went, I get it now. I get it. Like, the guy is, like, there's something about him that draws your eye. And he wasn't even at his best condition at the Olympia. But just something about him is just, and I think he's only, I mean, how he looked at the Arnold, I thought actually on the first day at the Arnold, I thought he was going to win it.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
I thought he had Nick and, in fact, Milos went absolutely crazy at me. We had a big row.
Yeah.
He said, yeah, so actually, let's not dig up the past now, but yeah, Nate, because I was like, no, he looked on the first day, you know, and then Samson peaked on the second day, you know, but yeah, so who do you think's going to win? Do you think Andrew as well?
Honestly, I don't think he'll be in shape, but if he was in shape, I think Carlos could beat them. He's pretty nuts.
Do you know what? He's the one that could upset everything.
If he comes in shape, man, I don't know. That's a freaky dude, man.
The thing is, the thing is though, I saw like a guest posing rear lat spread, but I've not seen the raidable bicep, and we haven't seen him in top condition yet, mate. We haven't seen him.
It's almost like they're hiding the back double bicep, right? Like it's like, okay, I haven't seen one back double, so that's a little worrisome, right?
Yeah.
His rear lat has improved, a lot. But yeah, the back double is much more powerful, we know, in judging, right? Like, I think it's probably one of the most important poses, the front double and the back double, I would say.
Yeah. I mean, that front
as far as judging.
That front double he hit just at the guest posing, even just when he does it on the front step. I mean, to me, that shredded is like top 3 Olympia. Oh. It's just phenomenal. Yeah. I mean, like I bumped into him and his dad at the Arnold a couple of years ago. And I just, like, he's in a t-shirt, and he was a lot smaller then. And I remember just looking at the thickness and the density, and his legs are so big he waddles. Yeah. He waddles. His legs have got so much size on him. It's insane, absolutely insane. Yeah, I like Carlos. I got a lot of time for Carlos. And like I said, like he's the wild card that could really be like, holy shit, this could upset everything.
Yeah, will be fun.
Yeah,
to watch. It'll be like a pre-Olympia a little bit.
Yeah, it will. It was going to be really. And the thing is, imagine if Andrew doesn't win, then he has to come to Europe to qualify or go to Legion.
Yeah.
So.
And you got some stacked shows coming up in there with Nathan.
Yeah.
Good Vito.
Regan.
Yep.
Theo.
Yeah. You guys. Yeah, you guys had a good season over there.
Yeah.
It's almost like you guys stretched up a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we got Vlad. We got a thing. I mean, those Spain shows and the Portugal shows. I mean, they're second to none. I mean, the production and the venue, everything's incredible.
Oh yeah, looked amazing. And then you had a lot of guys coming up too with like, is his name Joan, or how do you say his name? Jose.
Oh, the 21-year-old. He's 21.
And then you got the Spain kid too. What's his name?
Pablo.
Yeah, no, the pretty boy white guy. I don't know. I'm trying to.
Pablo. There's Pablo. You got Jose Munoz, whatever his name is. I can't think now.
Is it Joanne or something? Or how do you say his name?
What's the name? Sorry.
Is it Joanne or something? Joan.
Joan Pradell. Joan Pradell.
Yeah. That guy. Yeah, he looks nice.
Yeah, he's
got a bright future.
Yeah, I agree. And you got guys like Vlad and stuff. So yeah, we got some good solid. Obviously we had Presti win a few weeks ago, and I mean in Europe we've got a real thriving scene at the moment. We've got some good pros.
Yeah, great. Yeah. Very good.
Cool, Nate. This has been absolutely amazing, and I'm so glad that the move has gone well, and your first true pro season has gone absolutely brilliantly. And it's been good to reconnect, mate. And I look forward to hopefully bumping into you at the Olympia.
Yeah. So, yes.
Yeah. So I'm going to let you go, mate. Derrick, anything you want to finally ask, or?
No. Just to echo what Giles says, the you move and you know your coach and things like that. So obviously that's a big thing. So hopefully next year we're going to look for some even bigger things.
Yeah.
So looking forward to that.
Another £10, please.
Yes.
Actually, make it 20. Just be safe. Just be safe.
Yeah. Exactly.
All right, then, Nate. Thank you so much for coming on MD Global Muscle once again, mate. And I look forward to speaking to you very soon.
All right, thanks for having me on, guys.
All right, take care, mate.
God bless.
Okay, guys, and welcome to MD Global Muscle Season 5, Episode 43. Hot news. Of course, we're back in the... Well, he's back in the hot chair. Big D, Derrick Clarke.
Big D, the original and the only one Big D in the hot seat again.
Now, Derrick, because you couldn't get here till late today, I'm throwing you under the bus. We can't get the camera on you because we don't have the lighting.
Nope. We're going to get some more lighting soon, so you'll be able to see me in full glory.
Derrick, hang on a minute. You're the lighting guy.
I know. I'm getting the lighting. We'll get it sorted.
We will. Well, we've got the overhead light on as well, and it's looking a bit bright now, but the sun, I can see the sun literally going down now.
Yeah.
So, hey, Derrick, I know I say it every week, but you are getting bigger again.
I'm training. Steve Crichton's is pushing me. Steve Crichton,
Derrick,
a friend of mine.
Derrick, Steve Crichton's got a secret weapon, mate.
I know he's got a secret weapon, so I've heard now.
Paul Baxendale, who we had in the studio a few months back.
Did you?
My good friend, one of Dorian Yates' old training partners.
Yeah.
And because I've not been well this week, I was in. I'll tell you about it in a minute. He's training Paul Baxendale is training Steve for legs. Because he said he put him through legs, and he said because like Steve Crichton's supposed to be like a really I photographed Steve Crichton in '98, a couple of times, 98 and both times were '98 actually. Once up in Scotland and then up in Paula Berkhamshaw's gym. Day after the Mansfield guest posing, and he trained with Phil Davis.
Oh right, okay.
Yeah, both of those were 1998. That's probably his best year. But Paul said he put him through legs, and he said he was about to put the handles back. And what do you think Paul said on the leg press? What do you think Paul said?
A couple more.
10 more.
10 more. You're joking.
And he did them. And then he said he put. And Steve went outside, threw up, came back in, and then Stevie says, got his breath back, and he says, "Paul, can I ask you something?" He says, "Can you put me through legs every week?"
Yeah.
He did. Yeah, he did. He did. He said, "Can you put me through that every single week?" So the guy obviously likes being pushed.
Yeah,
but he said also, Paul actually said, he was leg pressing and he was putting his hands on his knees.
Yeah.
And he said, "What?" And Paul said, "What are you doing?" And he says, "Get your freaking hands off your knees. Put your hands on the handles."
Yeah.
He says, "I'm not pushing it, Paul." And he says, "I don't care. You'll train my way or no way.
Yeah.
My way or the highway."
Yeah.
So yes, that's what he did, and that's So,
Steve being a soldier, he'll stick to that.
Yes. He liked it. He liked it.
Yeah,
He was like, "Ah, man."
I think he likes that kind of discipline, doesn't it? That's really strong discipline. It reminds me of that kind of person like that.
Well, I told you that time I got him the coffee at 11 weeks out, and it had milk in it, and he couldn't drink it. He wouldn't drink it, and he said, because I know if I stand on stage in 11 weeks, I will know in my mind, in my heart, there was something more I could have done. So
with just a little bit of milk.
Yeah, tiny bit of milk. Thing is, Derrick, you're a few years younger than him, so.
Yeah, a few years.
You'll be bigger. You'll be bigger.
I don't know.
I'll be honest, he's probably going to be more conditioned.
Yeah, well, I'm working on that.
And thing is, did you know, I said to Paul, I said, "Well, Paul, you know that Stevie made a comeback in 2011 and he won the British Masters over 40. And he says, no, 2019. I said, no, 2011. He says, no, Giles, 2019 as well. He competed. He said he didn't look very good. But Paul said, "Don't worry." He said he's working with me now. He said so he'll be looking good. So I'm really excited. Do you know what, Derrick? I'm actually going to go to that show. I want to see you and Steve, two of my best friends.
I've got to get there first. So
Derrick, you live in the same town of where the show is.
I know, but I've still got to get there, man. I've got to make sure I'm right because I want to be definitely a contender.
Yeah, you will. You've got the thickness. I mean, even that last. What did you compete? Was it 3-4 years ago?
Yeah, 3-4 years ago.
So and you look good. You look really good.
Yeah, but I've left my gym since then, haven't I?
What difference does that make?
Well, I was at home.
Oh, come on, Derrick! All I'm hearing is excuses.
Listen, no excuses. I'm definitely. I've got it in my heart to do it. I'm just gonna see if I can do it, especially when I've got a new job and thing like that.
Honestly, if you got Milos or Patrick Tour,
oh yeah, definitely. But I mean, it's the job again, isn't it? You know what I mean? Yeah. Because I work in prisons and things like that. So it's quite difficult too because you can't really take your food in and things like that. So it's just when I get the opportunity to eat again. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm in a good gym. I'm in a good place. So let's see what I can bring to the table.
Good. Well, Ronnie did it in his police car, didn't he?
Well, it certainly did.
In his
But
Tupperware.
he could sneak home though, didn't he? He made sure he worked near his
No,
home.
he
didn't
used to eat in the car.
Yeah, but he still worked near his home. He made sure he got jobs near his home. That's what he said.
All right, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I want 2003 Ronnie Coleman or nothing at all, please. Right. Oh yeah, and actually on Monday, I was sat where you're sat editing Global, and all of a sudden my stomach went funny, and then the room started spinning, like really badly. I ran into my office and I kind of jumped into the chair. My chest went tight, and I started panicking. And I think it was panic because of obviously what happened last year in Ireland.
Yeah.
And then I called Lauren and I said, Lauren, get home. Because it wasn't. I was waiting for the pain to come.
Yeah.
You know, the thing is, I've had the surgery, so I don't know. But at the time, I didn't know. I was just all I knew. I was in a state of what is happening to me, what is going on. I was like, my hands were tracing. And I felt really cold. Basically went to A&E and it wasn't my heart. But I was there all day, and literally all week this week I've been completely wiped out. I've had no energy, and literally only today I did cardio this morning. I went to the gym and I did some back, and I was expecting a horrible workout, and it was actually quite a good workout. I was actually a bit stronger. The weights were feeling light than I normally do. I don't know what I am. Probably a week off, obviously, but I feel all right. My blood sugar's gone a bit crazy, man.
Well, I think things like when the doctor says that it's not your heart, I mean that clears your head a little bit.
I was gone. As soon as he said that, I was gone.
Exactly.
I went, right, okay, good night, bye.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm going home. It's 11 o'clock. I'm tired. I'm pissed off.
It's comforting to know that it's not your heart, isn't it? You know what I mean?
Yeah, but Derrick, after having the bypass,
that's what I mean.
They said to me, like last year when I had that viral infection and I ended up in A&E again, they said, look, it's so rare that anyone... and if it is, it's 20, 30 years later, and that's you living like a complete idiot. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And I eat very clean. I do cardio. I go to the gym. I'm not taking any gear anymore. I do a bit of TRT. Yeah. Working with that TRT clinic, balance my hormones in London. So it was really quite a scary experience actually. Quite a scary experience. And
but you're here. Yeah. You're here, thank God.
I'm just a hologram.
No, you're not.
Like the guy out of Red Dwarf with the hate. Smeghead.
Give God thanks.
Yeah. So, in fact, I'd like to say this actually. You know, when I was in hospital last year. Yeah. When Ronnie messaged me, when he said, "Giles, I'm praying for you." Yeah. I went, fine, done deal. I'm going home then, because obviously I hadn't had my surgery yet. Because I could have died. 1 in 6 chance I could have died. Yeah. I'm not a religious man. I know you are, Derrick.
Yeah, I am.
And when Ronnie said that, I remember getting off the phone and I was like, well, I've got the unfair advantage then. Yeah. Isn't it? Yeah. And I'm not religious.
It's comforting to know that he has the final say.
And he's literally probably got the bat phone direct.
Well,
do you know what I mean?
He probably has, but I mean, I'm telling you, he has the final say, and he says it's not time yet, man.
And what did you say to Ronnie when we were in the car?
What did I say to Ronnie?
God works in mysterious ways.
God works in mysterious ways.
And Ronnie was like, yep, buddy.
Does.
Yeah. Anyway, right, let's get on with it. Like I said, we're still here, still live. So, right, okay. The first guest we had in this episode was the 212 from the True Athlete, the Two Bro show this weekend. Yep. Literally just gone. Can you believe on Saturday? He wins the show on, was it Friday or Saturday? He was training Saturday, then he travelled home to Kuwait. And he hadn't slept for 2 days, went to the gym, and then literally went into the car to do this interview with us.
Exactly. After finished training.
Yeah, what a badass.
Yeah. I mean, he's determined, isn't he? Yeah. He's definitely want to make his mark. So looking forward to this Olympia anyway. Yeah, his coach sounds pretty clued up and everything, doesn't he?
One thing is now we're in such an era of bodybuilders that have coaches. Yeah. I do wonder sometimes whether, like, because I did everything by myself. I just wonder, like, how, obviously my competing days are gone, but I always wonder, like, sometimes how much different or could I have looked if I'd have had
if you had a coach.
Yeah. Maybe because after shows I'd just mess around in the off season, and then 12 weeks, 16 weeks I'd knuckle down.
That's right.
But if I'd actually really applied myself in an off season, and I went training, but I wasn't like really focused like I was pre-contest. Like I was militant. I was like. I stuck to. I was 100%, but I wasn't 100% the rest of the year. Yeah, and I wonder if a coach had made me accountable, whether I would have been.
Oh right, yeah. Well, You don't know, do you?
Nah,
You don't know.
nah, it doesn't matter anyway. I've still got loads of nice trophies, Derrick.
Yeah, we've still got the medals to show, haven't we?
Yeah,
So,
I've got them up in the. Yeah, I've got them all. Yeah, the thing is, Lauren's pageant trophies and all her different shows she's done. They're kind of overshadowing all her sashes from all pageant stuff. Is all kind of overshadowing all my stuff now. So yeah. Anyway, right. Okay. So obviously we had Nasser Sayed.
Yep.
In 2021, he got 7th in Olympia. And he dropped down to 12th last year, but it was obviously a bigger lineup, a tougher lineup.
Yeah. I
think I could see him in a top. I think he's a top 6 guy.
Yeah.
I do. Do you want to switch to us, Derrick? Yeah, let's have a look. This was I like the lighting better at this is the Portugal show, but his conditioning I think was a little bit better again at the UK show. But what do you think, Derrick?
Yeah. Well, he's definitely got a condition there.
Yeah. So this was Portugal a few weeks ago, but he looks very complete. I mean, he's hard to fault, really.
Yeah.
I like his physique. It's that rear lat. Look at the lat spread. Look at that. Look at the line there.
Wow.
Look at that. Look.
That's sick, isn't it?
That's a bulge. And he said his lat spread was a weak pose a couple of years ago.
A couple of years ago, yeah. And he said, look how much he's brought up. So he said he's going to work. What did he say he's going to work on his lower?
Yeah, hang on. Look, you can see glutes and hams.
Yeah, glutes and hams.
This does need work. But he's got 12 weeks. I mean, I've
12 weeks.
seen people do amazing things in 12 weeks, Derrick.
Definitely.
And he's already literally going straight into this 12-week prep.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, he says, I hate training glutes and hams. He says, but we're doing separate, dedicated days just to them.
Just for them.
You know, so this was on the weekend. We did it to Olympia. Let's have a look. Yeah, the lighting wasn't great. But let's have a look. Hang on. Oh, there we go. Yep, there he is backstage. Yeah, he looks happy. The thing is, I mean, when you're traveling and everything, to get a qualification and get it locked in is always it's always a relief, you know, especially when there's still there's still people looking to qualify, and you know you're going to be going up against different lineups.
He can focus now, can't he?
Yeah. So look at this video. Look at that. Look at the back. I remember seeing this video last week. This was 4 days out.
Wow.
Yeah, he definitely needs to thicken the glutes and the hams up.
Yeah.
That'll imagine. The thing is, look at the upper body there.
Yeah.
I mean, that's hard to fault.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His back is good.
His calves are good.
His back is good. Yeah.
But there's definite room for improvement in that area.
Definitely.
Yeah.
But his coach said is keyed in, isn't he? So
yeah,
he's gonna hopefully bring a new package to the Olympia anyway. So let's see what he does.
I think he'll. I could see him. I could see him scraping the top 6. Definitely.
Yeah.
I could see him make the top 6. Definitely. Let's have a look at some more pictures here. Yeah, it looks really good. These shots are really good.
Yeah.
Let's have a look. Yeah. Yeah, I like his shape. Very, very nicely symmetrical.
Yeah.
Good shape, good thickness, good balance.
This section could do a little bit of tightening up, but
do you think so?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think he'll address all things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like I said, if to get a win as well, and then you've still got another 3 months. That's Let's have a look at one more. Yeah. Kuwait. Yeah, Dubai's the place now, isn't it?
Dubai's the place, yeah.
Yeah, Kuwait's old. That's old news now. But I just like to see anywhere where there's good welcome support for bodybuilding. That's it. Like if you notice, like the MI40 gym.
Everybody's talking about that gym now, aren't they? Everybody's talking about that gym.
And Florida's a big place, you know.
Yeah.
But everyone in Florida in the area goes to that gym.
One.
It's Ben Pakulski's gym.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, Ben Pakulski. Yeah, a very good open pro bodybuilder. And the gym's just grown in popularity. Then you've got Vegas. Then you've got you've got like Flex Lewis's gym and Hidetada's gym and everything else. So also I'm going to be seeing Hidetada on stage in 2 weeks. He's competing.
Is he?
He's doing the Masters Olympia.
All right, nice one.
So obviously I'm going to the Masters Olympia in 2 weeks' time for Romania Cluj. I'm really looking forward to that. So I think that's all I want to see on there, actually.
Remember, I've got my passport now, you know, Giles.
Yes.
I don't fly, but I've got my passports. So if anybody wants to send me there,
yeah,
join me in.
Get your ass. Come on, come and join me, mate. You'd love it. You'd love it.
Yeah, I would.
Okay, let's have a look. Okay. I think that's everything I want to see on there. Right, I'll quickly go to Nate Spear, who we had a fantastic talk with. This was the package he liked the best. He took 3rd place here at the Vancouver.
Yeah.
What do you think, Derrick? Hang on. There we go. What do you think?
Yeah, he's got nice. Look at his physique. He's got nice shoulders.
Yeah, the delts are good, aren't they?
Yeah, man. He's got really good delts there. Section's all right.
Yeah. What do you think?
Could bin up his calves a little bit.
Yeah. I can see room for improvement there.
Yeah. But,
yeah, he's peeled.
Yeah, he's definitely peeled.
Yeah, this was the second show of the three shows that he did in the season.
Yeah.
Yeah, looks very good. Nicely symmetrical physique.
Mm-hmm.
Nice balance.
He's quite tall in there. Is it, what's it, 5'10"?
5'10".
5'11"?
5'10".
Yep.
Yeah, he's good. A lot of people like Nate. I mean, I've had him on twice now.
Yeah.
With this being the second time, and he's that was the best. I don't remember having such a good talk with him the first time. Though I can't really remember much about it. But this talk we just had earlier on is he's really made a good impression.
Yeah,
you know?
man, it was good.
This was his first show of the season. This was the New York Pro, the big NY Pro behind there.
Man.
He was 7th here, so he just missed the top 6. So he's the top of the second call out.
Yeah.
But that's a big show. That's the kind of big show to sort of throw yourself into for your first one of the season.
You want to see how you flare?
Yeah. So as you can see, probably need to get a little bit drier and fuller. It's triceps, man.
Yeah.
Triceps.
We've got big triceps there.
Huge, isn't it?
Yeah.
So let's have a look. What else? What's this? Okay, there's a few. Sometimes I get comments from random people that think it's stupid I put my health at risk to be an extreme bodybuilder. Man, who gives a shit? Do you know what I mean? Yeah. 10 years. Oh, wow. Oh, God. When I started bodybuilding, I just got clean from a 10-year heroin addiction. Ooh. I had a 550 credit score, no license, making $7.75 an hour in fast food, had felonies from my past, was not happy and lonely inside. Wow. Now I have a 730 credit score, license and vehicle I love, a clean record, not even a traffic violation, very financially secure, the happiest I've ever been in my life. I didn't know that. Oh, my God. I feel like I should have known this.
He didn't really say, did he?
What?
We should have quizzed him.
I should have done I should have done a little bit of research on him. I think.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think I've learnt my lesson there. Wow, that's
that would have been a good thing to talk about. You know what I mean? I like to hear stories like that.
Yeah,
I like to hear stories like that.
He's overcome it.
Gives people hope, man. It gives people hope.
It does.
And this is what we need in this day and age.
Derrick, you're absolutely right, mate. You know, I've had my own problems with addiction.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have problems with addiction, and it's not funny. You know what I mean? It's not nice, and it's not easy to get over that either as well.
No, that's what I mean. But I mean, you've overcome it. You see, this is what people need to know, that they can do it.
Yeah.
Right. Do you know what I mean? All it takes is for somebody to, you know. I mean, end of the day, you've got a platform like what you have. No, man, we need to tell people like that.
Yeah.
About, you know, you can do it. You can overcome these things.
Because you really liked John De La Rosa, didn't you, last week? You liked that one, yeah. I watched it back on Thursday when we released it, and it was really good. Because sometimes I'm too engaged in listening, and I like to watch it back, you know, and as an outside observer almost. But yes, I didn't know that. Wow, that's
like to help people. Like to tell people that, you know, we like keeping it real on this show, don't we?
Yeah.
We like to keep it real. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No bullshit with Globe Muscle.
No. I want to just tell people that, you know, that there's a lot of love out there, and life is not all, you know, doom and gloom. You can bounce back when things happen.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I've had an absolute rotten week, but just today, and obviously, like, even setting up tonight, I was just like, I'm so tired because I've been so exhausted all week. But as soon as I started, as soon as they came on the screen, the energy, and do you know what? As soon as you arrived,
is it?
Energy came.
Oh,
my energy came, and then they came on the screen,
for the grace of God, that's what it is.
Yeah, and then literally, I felt great.
Yeah.
I did. I felt good. Good. You know, I felt like, okay, now I'm into it, and I really want to do it, and because it's hard to explain, really.
Yeah. No, that's all right.
So anyway, I like his beard. Very, very well maintained beard there, Derrick.
Yeah, he does.
So that was good. He got 7th here. He wasn't too happy with that placing, but I think he had a good look there as well. The Gilco production. Yeah, he's not quite as good there as he is at Vancouver. Looks like the lighting's very bright there as well. I like his front double bicep. I didn't ask him his age, did I?
No.
Yeah, he's
a little bit thick in the midsection, isn't he?
He said by the time he got to Tampa, he said he was starting to feel burnt out.
Oh, right, yeah.
So you can see the body's starting to look a bit tired and watery there, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's all I want to see there from Nate. But very, very good season there. So there he is. Remember Hassan?
Yeah.
Big Hassan there. We've had this guy on as well. That's Stanimal. We had him on a few weeks ago. We've had him on.
Yeah.
So we've had him. I don't know this gentleman. What's his name? I don't know his name. Yes, you got 3rd place. Yeah, very good. I don't remember this guy as well. Is that? I can't remember his name now. So, right. Okay, then. So that's literally all I want to see on there. We'll quickly go to Bodybuilders Without Borders. So, like I said, we're doing a bit of abbreviated hot news tonight because it's been quite a little bit going on this week. There's been the Tupelo Pro. Kelvin Hine there from the UK got third.
Oh, right.
Well Tony Duong, this guy as well, I had on Global. He took fifth. Yeah. He's a very, very good competitor. Won by Core Fitness Lifestyle. That's not his name. Oh, no. J-Rod, IFBB Pro for winning Tupelo and the ticket to the Olympia. That's the classic. So congratulations, guys.
Well done.
Yep. I've got to show you this, Derrick. We've just been talking about Samson.
Yeah.
This is Samson, 330 pounds.
Right.
This is him starting his prep at 12 weeks out. Like, how can you be that big and aesthetic at the same time? How is that happy? How is that possible, Derrick?
He's got a good lady behind him, and he's got my man behind
Milos.
him. He's got Milos, man.
Derrick's favourite. Look at this most muscular. Now look at this. Look at that. Look. And look at the legs from the side.
I know.
Wait till he turns to the side. That's when you still realise that his legs probably literally weigh 100 pounds each.
Look at the calves. Look at the calves. Everything's just...
Derrick, I'm seeing improvements in the back. Look at the frontal bicep. The lats are coming out more.
Wow.
Look at that. And I mean, look, that's 330 pounds. He's not... Look at the legs.
Look at
that. Look at... I got to zoom in. Look at that.
That's a hang.
Holy shit. Oh my God. How does he get fucking trousers to fit? Sorry, pardon my French. Look at that. Oh my God. I'd never stay out of the mirror if I look like that.
He's got no hang around his waist or anything.
Derrick.
You know what I mean? Overhang and
Derrick.
That is mental.
He's going to be 300 pounds shredded and aesthetic on stage at the Olympia. A 300 pound aesthetic bodybuilder. Did you think you would ever see the day?
No.
Nor did I.
No.
Not even Ronnie. Well, Ronnie was. Well, he wasn't. You can't really say Ronnie was aesthetic. He was just a beast, wasn't he?
Yeah. Ronnie was the man.
Ronnie was the man. I don't think we'll ever see another Ronnie again.
No.
I don't think 2003. A lot of the Ronnie's looks. I don't think will ever be. Maybe the 98 could be duplicated, but not the condition and the size that he brought. The freakiness. I don't think we'll ever see that again.
Yeah.
So just love Samson, and he's such a good guy. I spoke to him last week.
Did you?
Yeah, I'm writing another article on him for MD.
Okay.
And also we've got a succession of shows in Europe. We've got Italy, France, and Spain, and I believe Regan Grimes, Milos's boy. This is Milos's boy. There's Milos there.
Oh yeah.
In the background.
Yeah.
Regan is going to be doing all three shows, but so is Nathan Diasha.
All right.
And Nathan Diasha's looking really good.
Yeah.
He's looking. My money's on Nathan.
Yep.
Yeah, because I think this is going to be either his last year or one more year tops, and then I think he's going to call it a day.
You reckon?
Yeah, he's pretty much said he has. He said, "I don't want to be 40, but I don't want to be 40-year-old in bodybuilding."
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
He said, "I want to be done. I don't want to be." He said, it was never. That's as far as he wanted to take it. Yeah. So Regan, obviously, we're very excited to see what he's going to be looking like. So he has to get a win, though. Thing is, you've got guys like Theo coming back. Theo's doing some of these shows as well. Theo does show after show after show, and he manages to peak at every single one as well. Theo's one of my favourites.
Wow.
Theo's a really cool guy. He sent me a video message when I was in hospital, and he says, Giles, he says, I'm going to win the New York Pro for you, brother. That's what he said. And I think he got third or fourth, I think it was. Yeah, I think third. It was third or fourth, yeah. And because obviously he knew I was there, over in Ireland and everything. So it was really sweet. He sent me like a private WhatsApp video message, So yeah, I love Theo. Theo's cool, man. And he's a really big dude as well.
Wow.
Great poser. And we've got John Jewett as well doing the jumping in the open. So he's be interesting to see how his physique looks, shredded but fuller.
Yeah.
So because he's another guy on it. So 3 weeks out, 217, 8 weeks out, 224. So he's 8 weeks out for the Legion Sport. So he's going to be, he's doing the open. So let's have a look. I like John Jewett's physique.
Yeah,
he's a cool guy. We had him on a few weeks ago.
Yeah, that side chest and his hamstrings look good, don't they?
Yeah, he's qualified as well for the 212 Olympia.
Right.
So because he said to me, he said actually in the interview, he said, I can tell you now. He said, I can reveal it now. I am going to be doing an open show on whilst I'm on my prep for the Olympia.
All right.
But I'm going to jump in at like whatever my weight is and not struggle to get down to 212. Just going to come in as I am.
Yeah.
So that'll be 4 weeks out for the Olympia, but he's going to do open.
Okay.
So he won't have to try and restrict himself and to make weight. And so he's just going to come in as he is, probably about 218, 220.
As full as he can be and everything.
Yeah. So he'll be like 8 pounds heavy. So he's probably going to look a lot better. And he's going to be 4 weeks out, so he's going to be in good condition.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to seeing that, actually. Maybe that might... maybe if he... thing is, then if he does well at the Olympia as a 212, he's going to want to stay 212, isn't he?
Yeah.
So let's see. It'll be interesting to see what happens anyway. So what else we got? Look at one more thing. Oh, Behruz, man. This is another Milos's boys. This guy won Romania last year. And Lauren interviewed him. He doesn't speak English.
Does he not?
But she managed it. She finished it. I mean, he had somebody there translating and stuff, but she did the interview for Wings of Strength. Wow. This guy can't get his visa.
Eh?
He can't get his visa. He qualified for the Olympia last year, but he couldn't get his visa, so he was prepping right up to the few days before the Olympia. But he's from Iran, like Hadi is. So, but now he's qualified at the Romania last year for this year. He's prepping again, and he doesn't even know whether he can get to the Olympia. So I just imagine that. Imagine prepping for something and you don't even know whether you could get to the contest to compete. So I really want to see Behruz at the Olympia because I want to see him. He's freaking awesome.
I want to see him.
He's Derrick. Look at him.
Wow.
I mean, this is what 12 weeks out. They are it. Milos. You
don't think Milos's guy's it's just got a certain look, haven't they? Right?
Freaky.
Exactly.
Big and shredded.
He's stamped his mark on these guys.
Yeah, he has. You're right. He has. Behruz Tabani, 12 weeks out for the Olympia, but he still hasn't got his visa. He desperately needs help. So I don't know what. I'm sure Milos is trying to help. I mean, I think they need to speak to Hani Rambod, who preps Hadi, who helped Hadi get his visa every time he's done the Olympia. So, but I'd love to see him get like the last 4 weeks at the Olympia with over in Vegas with Milos if he can get over.
Gosh, look at his waist, tiny waist.
He's got such pop to his physique, Derrick.
Yeah, is it from his
tiny waist?
Yeah.
And Behruz is actually one of my favorite. Look at that frontal bicep.
Wow.
He's actually one of my favorite pros. He's one of my favorite pros.
I can see why.
Yeah. And he's incredible. And you should have seen him at the night show at the Romania. Even before he walked on stage, and I could see him walking onto the side. And on the live stream, you can hear me going crazy. I was going, "Oh my god, he looks amazing! Oh my god!" Like he just filled out. He looked incredible, absolutely incredible. So I
Milos does a really good job with people, you know. You know, don't get me wrong. I mean, there's some brilliant coaches out there. You know what I mean? And we're hearing a lot about them and everything, but for me, Milos is my guy.
He's tough, mind.
Yeah,
he's tough. He's like, if you said, "I don't want to eat vegetables,"
I know.
He'd be like, he would laugh at you. He would spit on your grave.
Slap me, wouldn't he?
He
would slap me.
Derrick, a big Milos's hand would come out of the phone, and
I could see that,
and slap you around the face.
No, seriously, I could see that. Do you know
he'd probably
force it down my throat or something?
He's probably one of those people that would actually get quite upset. He would actually you'd probably end up having a proper fallout.
I think he'd drop me.
He would scream at you. He'd be like, he would abuse you, and you'd probably be in tears, and then you'd go and make your veg.
Yeah.
He'd probably give you like a pep talk for 20 minutes, and he'd be like, "Yeah, I feel like I do need to eat veg," because Milos is he's quite a persuasive chap, is Milos.
Yeah.
So, this guy as well. I want to find out more about this guy. He took third.
All right. Okay.
Called Marco Sarconi. He's been consistently in top 5 since his debut this year. Look at the condition from the back, Derrick. Hang on, if you can see it. Look. I mean the side. Look at the condition.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Oh wow.
He's a freak.
Yeah.
I like this guy. I'm going to find out. I want to see if he speaks English or whether you can get a translator. But I really want to. I want to hear from this guy, Derrick. So yeah, he's. Like I said, he's just. I don't even know what show he did actually, because this is the first time I've been aware of him or actually been had an impression of him.
His head looks funny in his body, doesn't it? His head looks just like it's not made for that body.
I'll be honest. I mean, this is impressive, but look, put some pants on, mate.
Oh yeah.
I don't like that. You see, me and Ron talked about this in the Power Hour and said, guys, just put your freaking pants on. Yeah. You know,
we can see that you're in condition. We don't need that.
We don't need to see that quite that much separation.
Yeah exactly.
Okay. Yes, so, some separation we don't need to see. The literal butt cracks, we don't need to see that. And this was the guy that won the classic. Stefan, forget his last name. Just go on his Instagram. A lot of hype around this guy. They reckon he can make top 6 at Olympia. Mr. Unchained, bloody hell, 500,000 followers. Yeah, really nice addition to the classic. And yeah, so we are getting dark now, aren't we? So yeah, that's pretty much it, really. Oh, and obviously got Terence Ruffin as well, looking to redeem himself after dropping. Was it down to 6th place or 7th place last year at the Olympia? Yeah. Beautiful. Derrick, this guy is the best poser you've ever seen. Yeah. And I mean, we're talking best poser you've ever seen. Like it's electrifying. This guy is an artist. So, and I love him. I've interviewed him many times. Really nice kid as well. He's only in his 20s.
Is it?
Yeah, he's been he's been top 3 at the Olympia.
Where's he from?
Where's he from? Florida.
Okay.
Yeah, at MI40 he trains.
Oh,
yeah.
Obviously.
Because Nate said, he says, oh yeah, Terence comes in, Terence Ruffin. I was like, okay, cool. So yes, okay. That is that's pretty much all I want to see on there. So yeah, okay then, Derrick. Also, please do not forget to check out the latest issue of MD.
Let me just switch you over to that. Bring that up again, Giles.
Yeah. Do not forget to check the latest issue of MD. Should have the new one hitting on the mats very, very soon. And this week I've got to do all the work for the next issue. I can't tell you who I'm writing about, but he's also got the front cover. This guy. Yep. Might have been somebody we might have spoken about possibly tonight. Yep. So I won't give too much away. I don't want to spoil the surprise. So okay then, Derrick. Thank you so much once again for coming, helping me out, mate.
It's a pleasure. Pleasure to talk to everybody. Yep. Lovely.
Lovely. All right then, guys. Hope you've enjoyed this latest episode of MD Global Muscle. As always, please do not forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Yeah. And that is it. So thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting with my main man, Derrick Clarke, in the house, Big D.
Have a blessed week.
We are...
Take care, everybody.
We are out.
We are out.